Good morning. So today I've got this little backlit beauty. This is my 1991 Diamondback Apex. I've had this for a few years now actually, and it's gone through 3 different variations already. It started off as a hybrid. I put 700c wheels on it. I just chucked an Exage, I think it was a country group set on it. And yeah, rode it around as a little hybrid with calipers as well for a while before deciding I wanted to go back to the 26-inch roots and change it to a mountain bike. So 26-inch wheels, slick tyres, V brakes, and I think some of this M550 as well. And after that I went full M550, and here it stands before you now, gleaming red. Yeah, it does have a few paint chips on it, but it's an original frame. The seat post is also original. And then today I've managed to get myself the rest of the original parts. So I was doing a little look around, because this isn't original, by the way. It shouldn't have the LX components on it, it should have DX. And I was doing my little eBay search as usual, and I found out Marsan had the exact wheel set that I needed, which is the Deore DX hubs with the Avenir Duro 17 rims, and that got my attention, so I decided to splurge, and yeah, I've got the DX group set, DX brakes, derailleurs, crankset, shifters, and the actual original T-bone stem as well. So today I'm just gonna magically swap all that over. And why is my battery dead already? Anyway, magically swap it all over, and then go for a ride with the DX components and the proper bike. Okay, first up of the original gear is this Tioga T-bone stem, and I've also got the Avenir True Temper bars on there, which should be on there originally, but I already had them. So it's just that design there, T-bone, and it's also got the Avenger stamp on the front, which is the same as the headset. This is Tioga Avenger headset, which is original. Still spins nicely, so I'm just going to rough that in. Sit on there. It had the Gervin Flex stem on it before, so it should be a tiny little bit lighter. There we go. Now for the bars themselves, for the shifters, for the brake levers, we're swapping from the M550 sort of grade, which is actually I think it's the M091. Yeah, M091, which is more of a plastic. It's got a plastic lever, a steel body, and those style shifters. And going to the Deore DX, which is all metal, a bit sleeker. And this is the M075, so a bit of a smaller unit, bit of sleeker unit, and just generally nicer. Okay. So I've just got to leave room for the grips, which I think I'm going to go down the bike shop and get some new ones. The light's gone. Going on to the brakes. There's a slight difference. The M550 Deore LX group set has this style, so it has the sort of bolt through brake pad. However, the M650 is a slightly different style with the smooth post mount, which means I get to use my cool stop pads. Haven't put the spring in yet, but I'll stick those on now. Slightly sleeker, maybe slightly lighter. when it comes to the derailleurs, that is the Deore LX, the M550. That is the Deore DX M650. So very similar. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is going to be. That one's got a few more cutouts on it. Maybe a lighter material, so this might be slightly lighter, the DX. And hello, Torvi. You okay? Don't go in the garage, come on. Now again, when it comes to cranksets, it's very hard to tell the difference. Deore LX M550, Deore DX MT60. Yes, MT60. Very hard to tell the difference side by side. This one's got smaller ratios on it, I can tell you that. It's 24, 36, 46, 28, 38, 48, so I'll be going slightly slower with a DX, but looking at them side by side, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Same alloy spiders. Maybe a slightly different shape. Like the DX seems maybe a bit bulkier there. Yeah, there's a bit more of a defined ridge. There's a bit more of a defined ridge there on the DX. So that's one difference. While down here, the pedals, these serviced ones that are being serviced at the moment are the M550s, plastic body, steel shell, steel cage, and a chromo axle. And these are the DX, so they've got the alloy body on it rather than plastic, which I guess makes them a bit stronger. I'm not using these ones on this build, but I'm using them on another build. So these will be lighter, the LX. These might be a bit stronger, the DX. Front derailleurs, again, very little difference. Deore LX, the M550, got a black body, alloy, chrome steel, and then DX. So on the surface, it's just a colour change. They look pretty much exactly the same. Mechanism wise, yeah, it's very hard to tell. There is a slight difference on this side. That is removable or adjustable. So there's a slight difference there. What does that do then? Maybe it's the spring tension of the derailleur. There we go, that's adjustable or removable. It's not even on the LX, so maybe just a more complex derailleur. Okay, so when it comes to the wheel set now, these are the Deore DX M650 hubs, or the front hub anyway, at least pictured, and the the 550, the Deore LX, isn't exactly much different. I wish that this light would stop changing. Yeah, there's no, I can't see any real difference unless it's internal. The bearing covers look the same. Yeah, the bearing covers look the same on both. They look roughly the same design, so I'm gonna have to look a bit deeper into that. But yeah, I've got my Juro 17 rims on and my knobby nicks. And they are the original rims for this bike, so it's the original wheel set. So yeah, really happy about that. And it's now the afternoon, and it is done. Yeah, it's all back together, all back to, you know, pretty much original. Obviously the tyres aren't original, the saddle isn't original, and neither were the grips. But the rest of it, yeah, Deore DX. I got the 650 rear derailleur, 650 front derailleur, MT60 crankset, 650 brakes, 650 hubs with the Avenir rims, Avenir seat post, Tioga Avenger T-bone stem, and the Tioga Avenger headset, as well as the Avenir bars. Oh, and the DX shifters. And so yeah, it's really nice to have it back to an original bike, because that's what I kind of appreciate more now, rather than having it as a hybrid or anything like that. And the only thing that I struggled with on this was that T-bone stem. That noodle, that guide that it's got on the front, was a nightmare to get the brake cable through. It needs the outer cable pushed into it, but if you try and feed the inner cable through first, it just catches on the lip that's on the backside, and with the outer cable through and then the inner cable, it still wouldn't come out. So I actually got a suggestion from Simon about using some heat shrink, and that just about worked. Just about. I managed to get the cable to grip enough inside the heat shrink as well. That's poking a cable through the opposite direction and heat shrinking them together, and then feeding it through, and it worked. But yeah, she's a beaut. I love this. I love the red and the Schwalbe Nubby Nick skin walls. Love them. My local bike shop as well managed to save me a little bit here. Had some nice Bergtech grips to stick on, which, you know, work well. I do have to space the shifters off quite a bit, because pulling the which one would it be? The upper lever that you can see, pulling that towards the bars. If you have the shifter next to the grip, it interferes with it and you can't actually select that gear, so you have to have it offset. And they also saved me, because it turns out these rims needed Presta valves, and I didn't have any tubes with Presta valves, so fortunately they had some in stock. So yeah, thanks Two Wheels. Cantilever brakes aren't often the most efficient, but these cool stop pads really do help out. They're not cheap, not cheap at all really, but if you're using your bike quite a bit, I would definitely recommend them. And I think I just need to actually finish off and say thank you again to Marsan for having such an awesome stock and tempting me all the time. So the bits that I believe came from him this time: crankset definitely, front derailleur, wheel set, brakes, actually yeah, okay, pretty much almost all of it. Wheel set, brakes, crankset, front derailleur, stem, and brake lever shifters. All that came, and he has lots in stock. And there she is, finished. So I don't know how long this has gone for, but I think I might do the ride separately now. The wind isn't too bad at the moment to fly a drone, but yeah, might go out in the morning. And don't worry about the LX stuff. I've already got plans for that, and I'm going to build that bike up tomorrow and, touch wood, release it midweek or maybe next weekend. But that should be a nice build as well. Oh, I love that. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this little update of the Diamondback Apex, putting it back to original. I'll get out and do a ride on it, tell you how it performs, because those knobby nicks are quite nice. They hold a lot of volume, so they act as a bit of suspension. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next video. You meant to go and check out the bike.